Before this video starts, I would like to mention that this was recorded during a live stream at Twitch, twitch.tv/JonNario94. Pardon my raspy voice. I got I just recovered from a cold, and yeah, so twitch.tv/JonNario94. There will be a link in the description down below. As always, if you do yourself have a topic that you would like me to just discuss on a live stream, I can just do a recording and just post it right here on YouTube. Similar to this one was something that I wanted to do ever since last week. Everything before all of the things regarding the test ever happened. So yeah, here I am just posting it during this live stream. Once again, twitch.tv/JonNario94, link in the description as always. Also make sure to drop a like since it does help out with the YouTube's algorithm, and also subscribe. We're very close to 4.2k subs. And yeah, all the social as well in the description. Anyways, I will leave past me to just talk about the topic of today's video. Anyways, welcome to another JMP video. I am recording currently while I'm doing a live stream. So, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the Shadowhunter. I've been essentially just using the Shadowhunter for a little while now. Especially last week when I was using this character for Uber 11. I definitely noticed that this character is much better than I thought it actually was, which is crazy to think about because the Shadowhunter is actually one of those classes that which I consider to be the best speed farming class in the entirety of the game. So there is definitely one little thing that I just wanted to talk about, and that is going to be in related to the abilities on the Shadowhunter. I severely underestimated how good the abilities on the Shadowhunter really are. And that is definitely something to keep a note of, because the abilities on the Shadowhunters are going to be among the strongest abilities in the game for, for dungeon grinding. And so, yes, I will definitely just say, if you're a Shadowhunter, consider using your abilities, especially if you're in like the early and mid game for a Shadowhunter. End game, not so much, but definitely early and mid game will benefit this a lot. So, why am I talking about this right now? So the abilities on the Shadowhunter, a lot of people really don't talk about the abilities on this character, because the abilities on the Shadowhunter are definitely something that that people consider to be pretty mediocre because of how it works. However, you can actually manipulate these abilities to be some of the most disgusting abilities out there, and that is just going to be crazy to think about, because a lot of players, considering that the Shadowhunter is definitely not a popular character, I'm being sarcastic by the way, but a lot of players, technically when I see them use the Shadowhunter like this, just run around, shooting with their basic attack, and that's it, and then just occasionally do the dodge on the ground, which is definitely something that I do not recommend, especially if you're going with the basic attack route with the Shadowhunter. I would recommend you to always be jumping. Jump with your Shadowhunter all the time. That's because if you jump, that means that you can do a jump dodge and you can do jump shooting. Both are movement speed technique that I've talked about like a little bit in the past. And jump shooting will allow you to just move forward without barely losing any movement speed, because of how the in-air mechanics actually works in this game while you're in midair. Instead of losing your movement speed immediately, you lose your movement speed gradually. So when you're shooting on the ground, similar to mouse, you're shooting and it will lose your movement speed immediately. But if you're in midair, it will just start losing your movement speed gradually. So if you hold it down, then obviously that's when you're going to lose your movement speed. But if you tap shoot, you barely lose your movement speed, because it's going to just lower the movement speed a little bit more gradually. Doing that is going to be definitely something that you need to do. Same with jump and dodging is the same mechanics. If you're in midair and you do a dodge while in midair, you're going to carry all of that forward momentum without losing any momentum, because you're not on the ground. You're not losing your movement speed immediately because of the animation. You're just losing the movement speed gradually. So that is definitely one thing that I would recommend any Shadowhunter to be doing, essentially. But another thing that I would just recommend is to use your abilities. So your abilities on the Shadowhunters are extremely powerful. They do some of the most ridiculously, disgustingly huge damage, but the problem is that they are extremely slow. So for example, let's take for example the first ability, Shadow Seekers. When you activate the ability, look at how slow they are. they're extremely slow in just getting into a target. And obviously, if you're lagging like you just saw right there, it's just not going to work. But one thing that you can actually do is just going to be using it like a detonation type ability. So for example, if I had two Shadow Seekers right there, you can essentially just get into a boss and just throw them on the ground and it's going to almost immediately detonate. Shadow Seekers can do some of the most disgusting, huge burst damage in the entirety of the game. It's going to do more damage depending on how many arrows that you actually do have. So if you do have one Shadow Seeker, it's going to do, I do believe it's 4.5, and it's going to keep gradually increase the damage all the way until you reach the maximum, which I do believe is 9 times damage multiplier per arrow, and then you include a 50% damage increase when you do a crit. So it's much higher than actually just that damage output. So it's pretty much one of the first abilities, if not the first ability to actually start one-shotting if you do have 5 Seekers. Not only that, the Seekers actually have an AoE, so stuff like Curse Gold, let's just say for example 1 arrow, you can actually just see right there, that is just 1 Seeker. So take into account, like if you do have, let's just say 5 Seekers, and if you're using it for a Cursed Gold, as a beginner player, you can just instantly just throw down one of them and just clear out a wave immediately. So that is definitely something that you can just do, and it's just going to be a huge benefit for this character. And keep in mind that this is going to be one ability that you can just throw it down alongside all of the other abilities, because the ability being almost instantaneously. So that is going to be the Shadow Seekers. Then if you include the Snare is an ability that a lot of people use. It is by far the best Curse Call ability in the game for lower portal. So if Snare actually one-shot is the best ability in the game, because it will hit enemies as soon as they spawn, and it has enough radius to hit all enemies. The only thing that it has problem is going to be the high energy cost, but if you do have energy regeneration, then the ability is just absolutely ridiculous for Curse Skulls. So you have those two abilities. Not to mention, Snare actually stuns enemies a lot, and it is really a ridiculously good ability, especially for kill 30 enemies. You can just throw it down immediately as soon as they spawn. It will kill 30 enemies, wave, kill all 10 enemies from the kill 30 is almost guaranteed, and you can essentially just do that, and it's going to essentially just kill enemies as soon as they spawn, and you can clear out a wave immediately. And you can do that even over 11. This, by the way, is the power of the Shadow Seekers. So as you can tell, I use Martial Emblem, throw Shadow Seekers, and immediately one-shot even a 3-star boss. That is ridiculously powerful. You cannot one-shot 3-star bosses, even with the higher damaging abilities. And you can barely even one-shot 1-star bosses. And Shadow Seeker is one of those abilities that you can just one-shot 3-star bosses. You can just stun enemies, throw Shadow Seeker, even if it, like with 1 Shadow Seeker, 2 or 3 Shadow Seeker, the ability is pretty much instantaneously, and you can just throw it down, and it's going to essentially just guarantee you one-shots like left and right, especially on bosses. And then if we move on to Sacred Arrow. Sacred Arrow, the ultimate ability, is also another thing that I consider to be an extremely underrated ability. It's extremely good for burst. I did mention this on my 40k PR video, Shadowhunter video. Sacred Arrow ultimate ability, that you can just use that towards your advantage in terms of burst damage capability. The ability does a damage over time, and it does initial contact damage. Didn't preface how important that is, because it means that you can just throw it down and then just immediately shoot, and everything is going to help out in burst damage capability. That is extremely good for just bursting out bosses. So you can just have this, the Seekers to one-shot bosses in burst. You have the Snare that is just a stun, that is going to stun all enemies immediately. And then you have the ultimate ability that is just going to be really good. So there you go. You have a burst damage first ability that can just burst down 3-star bosses, which you can just use that to kill out bosses. You can save the Seekers for bosses. You can use Snare for Curse Skulls if you can do damage for them, and not only that, you will stun and kill 30 enemies. It's going to be a joke with that ability. And then you can just use the Sacred Arrow also for bosses just to kill them out really quickly if you don't have Seekers. It's a perfect combination of abilities of burst, crowd control, and not only that, it will help you out in survivability. It's really good for the early game, really good for like even for end game players, because you can easily just go down, oh yeah, this is a cursed gold, throw down a snare and just immediately kill all enemies immediately before they can do anything because of the 2-second stun. It is absolutely ridiculous, and it is really pretty good. And honestly, it is definitely an ability that I would recommend you to use. So Shadowhunters out there, please use your abilities. You have incredible tools like this in your disposal. Use them, and you are going to see that you are going to be doing dungeon grinding much faster and much better, much more consistently, and you can actually see why this character is the best character in the game for dungeon grinding. But yeah, that's going to be everything for me. I'll leave future me to take the outro. So yeah, as always, use your abilities. And yeah, that concludes this video. Obviously, like I just mentioned already throughout the whole video, use your ability as a Shadowhunter. Like always, this was recorded during a live stream at Twitch, twitch.tv/JonNario94. If you yourself got some questions inside the stream that you think that is going to be important, or rather is going to be a topic that you would like me to cover on a video, then I can just do a recording right there on stream. And once again, make sure to leave a like, subscribe for more content like this, and yeah, let me know in the comment section down below if you like videos like this one. I don't mind just doing extra recordings here and there when it comes to just doing live streams. Also check out my second channel if you want to see more clips on Trove or other games. I'll leave that in the description down below. Let's see if we can reach to 1,000 subscribers. And here on the main channel, we're very close to 4.2k. We're on a road to 5,000 subscribers. With all that being said, once again, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Take care, and keep on hunting. See ya.